Good evening and welcome to a new edition of To The Point. This morning, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi attended in Alexandria a briefing on developments of seaports in Egypt. With us on the phone to shed light on how will the seaports be developed and the effect of that on the overall Egyptian economy is Dr. Hamdi Barghout, who is a professor of logistics and maritime transportation. Dr. Hamdi, can you hear us?
Sure.
Yes. Sir, the President was briefed earlier in the day about the developments of Egyptian seaports. Can you shed light to the viewer where are seaports in Egypt going in the future?
Well, talking about the seaport nowadays, it is considered as a window to the world. Nowadays, we are not talking about seaport alone. We are talking about the logistics ports,
yes,
which is connected all the port networks all together electronically, and they are connected to all the seaport community. I mean, the ship owners, the shipping agency, the control authorities, exporters, importers, banks, as well as customs, which is the bottleneck of any seaport. What's going on nowadays in Alexandria is really something needs to be considered and taken into consideration, that we are in the right track for making what's so-called logistics port. Actually, you know, Alexandria Port considered one of the oldest ports ever in the whole world.
Yes.
And it is now occupy about from 65 to 70% out of the incoming and outgoing commodity from and to Egypt. Today we inaugurate the multi-purpose quay, which is making the Alexandria port completed actually, because we have passengers, we have general cargoes, we have containers, we have even so coal quay, and all other commodities are representing in Alexandria port, except for the multi-purpose, which is inaugurated today. Yes. However, this exactly representing, putting a new step forward towards the logistics port for our seaports. And the most interesting thing is that the connectivity to the international shipping lines online before even entering the port, controlling the entrance and run from and to the port, what's called berthing activities, and helping the vessel safely tied to the berth for loading and charging goods, the backup areas, rail connected, river connected, which is Alexandria port is the first port connected, yes, to Nile River, and this gives him some, facilities, which is what's called the logistical facilities, to be considered one of the best logistics port in the Mediterranean nowadays.
Yes. Dr. Hamdi, can you hear us?
Yes, sure.
Yes. Dr. Hamdi, I believe that there is some kind of a regulation that was issued whereby ports have to be digitized, I believe, by 2022 or 2023. Digitizing the maritime sector, how will this affect that business, especially in Egypt?
Working online nowadays is the main point. For all importer and exporter, for the shipping lines, for the owner of the goods, for the forwarding companies, the logistics service provider, we need to be all in line. We need to be, just in time, recognizing where exactly our cargo is. Now, it is which is calling the tracking and the tracing These kind of services, electrical services, is really essential. We started this since 2006. By what's called the Portic project, where we started transferring our seaport into electronic seaport, or applying some electronical aspects to the process. But it was not like what we are doing nowadays. Nowadays we have some progress in this, some new applications. We are coping with the international standardization of the port operating worldwide. And this is exactly put us in certain rank, whereas we are going to be, with development taking care for the time being in the seaports, we will be having some higher ranks than ever before.
How will this affect our economy, especially since Egypt is moving towards forming lots of digital hubs? For example, the Suez Canal logistic zones, digitizing. How will this help those zones?
Actually. When we save 1 second per ton in Egypt for import or export in the formalities, 1 second per ton, we are going to save millions of seconds per year, which is days and months for the international trade. The international trade representing nowadays almost 11 billion tons, and maybe more actually, because 9 billion by sea freight only. When we save, even though 1 second for the international trade, this will represent millions of dollars per year for the countries. And that's why all seaports worldwide are now working on modernizing their system and electronize their process, the way keep the port as a window, not a place to put cargo for longer time. It should be passed smoothly by the entering the vessel, berthing the vessel, mooring the vessel, loading and discharging the vessel, storing the cargo, receiving the cargo, clearing the cargo from the customs, deliver the cargo to the market, and the time from the supply chain working from the supplier up till the receiver will be minimal. And this exactly means the international trade will going to be increased more and more rather than ever before in the whole world, not only in Egypt. But we are nowadays trying to cope with the international market, which is very important and very interesting to know. We were in the tail of the list before for the logistical key processing indicator, and nowadays we are having some very big process in this progress.
The safety and security, digitizing, will it reduce maritime accidents or complications? And here I'm referring to the situation that happened with the Evergreen in the Suez Canal. Digitizing, will it help us to avoid such tragedies that really affected lots of countries?
Talking about the accident of Ever Given, I need to draw your attention for something very interesting for you to know. Ever Given, the daily running cost is $75,000 per day. i.e., the cost of 1 second in this vessel is almost $2 per second, the total cost per year. And that's why any accident or any obstacle making the trip of the vessel delayed, it means that hundreds, thousands, and millions of dollars of loss. With the application of the international standard of the tracking and the trace and applying the international electronic system and the applications for online tracking and the tracing and online traffic, the international routes, navigational routes will be very safe with a full control of the operation control room in the canal, control rooms in the seaports, control rooms, and the vessel itself connected to the control room of the ports. It means that we can reach zero deviation, zero mistakes, perfectivity by applying electronic application. Perfectivity.
Sir, let me touch on your professor's hat here. Education. Are our curriculums sufficient to meet needs of this new maritime sector?
Egypt is very progressed in this respect because, you know, we are the only country in Africa as well as in the Arab country who has a college where teaching and keep studying for postgraduates for logistics and international transport. And they have also their own Arab Academy, whereas it is graduating, even though crew for the vessel, the Egyptian and the Arab crew for the vessel, starting from the cadet to the first, the third officer, third engineer, second officer, second up to masters. And
yes.
Not only that, but also we have now college for engineering, shipbuilding technology, maritime transport department. All of these are supporting the society from the educational party. I mean, faculty of engineer, faculty of, College of International Transport and Logistics, as well as the Arab Academy for Maritime Transport, the Marine College. All of these are supporting the society with the candidates. They can help developing the logistics sector in Egypt and in the Arab countries.
Dr. Hamdi Barghout, thank you very much for joining us on To The Point. Looking forward to seeing you in person. We'll be right back after this with more to come on To The Point. With us on the line is His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi. Your Excellency, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
The President earlier in the day inspected the developments of Egyptian seaports. One of the issues worth noting, he stressed on the fact that exports from Egypt will be upgraded. The quality will be inspected meticulously so that we fit within, he referred specifically to the European Union standards, and that no exports will be done without registration on the system, and that will be applicable as of March 2022. How do you see that helping our export industry in Egypt?
It is very important that we are applying the European and international standards. And thank God that we have organization for the international standards. And we started to win it with its counterpart in Europe. We got the help of Europe in order to make many Egyptian organizations up to the grade of the European standards and the international standards. And I must say, especially in the field of food, Egypt is very tough about verifying its imports from food. We are suffering, all of us, from imports coming from Far East, and sometimes it's not well inspected in our customs duties. And I am personally following this because some of our businessmen are telling us that more than 40% of what we see in the market, especially the textile industry, is coming without any inspection in our customs duties, even if it doesn't pay the customs. And it's a matter of coming out of the control. So it's time to inspect our imports and exports. And I must say here with all confidence that all our exports are well inspected, because we cannot export without reaching the expected standards in our markets, whether it's Europe, America, the Arab world, or even in Africa.
Sir, if we can go to the meeting, the Cyprus summit that was conducted a couple of days ago. Analysts say it represented a leap in Egyptian-Cypriot relations. How do you see that summit?
It is very important also. You know that one of our foreign affairs obligations, I mentioned now, is the European policy. And as you well know, we joined the European Union with the association agreement, which was signed in 2001. And we are committed to many things which organize the relations, whether it is the diplomatic, security, political relations, or the economic and trade, or the social relations also. We are committed to combat the organized crime, whether it is terrorism, drug trafficking, illegal migration, and all of this we are committed to. And Cyprus is a dear neighbor, friend, and since they were seeking independence from the British colonialism, there was a sort of good relationship and friendship between Gamal Abdel Nasser and the president of Cyprus. I have seen him in the funeral of Gamal Abdel Nasser, by the way. Then the new issue is the discoveries of the gas in the eastern part of the Mediterranean. And we establish an organization now with a huge in Cairo between Egypt, Cyprus, and Greece. Many other countries are joining them. And Europe and Egypt, we agreed together that Egypt will be the center for trade of energy in this region, whether it is electricity. As you well know, we are now establishing an electricity line from Egypt to Greece in order to export our electricity to Europe, because we are joining the electric net from Baghdad in the east up till Casablanca in the west, and joining that from Spain, from Greece. Also, we are going to connect with the electric net in the south with Sudan, with Tanzania, with Congo, and inshallah with Ethiopia.
Yes.
So we are in a position to have a surplus of electricity. A third dimension that we have now a surplus in our factories in Damietta and Edfu to liquidate the gas. This gives more value to the gas, because we change it from the gas to a liquid. Then 1,000 cubic meters of gas will be expressed in 1 meter only. This will make the transport much easier.
Yes.
This will make it with a big value added. So we are going to import the gas from all our neighbors, whether Cyprus, Greece, or wherever, and liquidate it in our two countries, and then export it again to those countries in the sort of liquid gas.
Yes.
All these really are a good step for our future, for expanding our investment, attracting investment from Europe and from all over the world.
Your Excellency, how can this partnership or strong relationship promote regional stability, in your opinion?
Of course, this is one very important dimension of our relations.
Yes.
Because if you want stability anywhere, you need to make the people feel that they are living better. This is a big goal of our economic reform. And wherever we go, we are trying to make the people feel that they are better if they follow the peace process and they start building their own country. And thank God that in Egypt we feel that all of us are after the Egyptians. The problem in our area that you have parties, you have rights, and sometimes some people are more affected to their tribe or their parties, and they do not feel the strong feeling towards the country. This is wrong. We are facing this in Lebanon, in Libya, in Syria, many places, and we want that make everybody that economic stability will lead, of course, to political stability if everybody feel that a united country will be better for everybody.
Sir, the President called on, in that summit, on a stronger stance towards pushing forward the Palestinian question and reaching a two-state solution. Do you see any positive strides? Because earlier in the day there were some Israeli atrocities versus people in Gaza. Do you see any progress, any brink of hope that we can actually move forward with that question at the time?
The positive side of the story that almost the whole world is looking to this question in our favor and the Palestinian favor. Shame on us that the only country which is still occupied is Palestine. And when we went to the General Assembly of the United Nations concerning Jerusalem, we got positive votes, 148 votes with us. The only country who sent their embassy to Jerusalem was the United States, and now I think that they are not happy about what they did. I here recall the meeting between President of United States and the Prime Minister of Israel, that it was expressed that the President told him that the two-state solution is for the favor of Israel, because if you close your eyes and wait for 10 or 20 years with no two-state solution, there is no future for Israel. And even some very honest Jews in the United States are telling Israel that the two-state solution is a good thing for the future of Israel itself. So we have to wait and see, because I think there isn't any future for Israel by going to occupy other people's land. We have these two problems, by the way, if you have time, I'll tell you. On the Israeli side, that since the establishment of Israel, we didn't have any one party ruling Israel. There isn't one party who won 50% plus one.
Yes.
So you have always a sort of combination between many parties. Some of them are very fanatic. So we cannot deal with them. Also, the sort of leaders like Shimon Peres or Rabin or Menachem Begin, who had the courage to sign an agreement with us, we don't have such sort of leadership. On our side also we have a problem that we have a sort of splitting Hamas investment from the Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO. This is another obstacle for peace on our side. So Egypt is doing this and that. We are talking to the Israelis. I think we are the only country who is in a position to talk to everybody. because we are in a sort of good relations with every single country in the world.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, thank you very much for your fruitful input. We'll be right back after this, so please stay with us. Well, unfortunately, we're witnessing technical difficulties, but on that note, we end this edition of To The Point, and we'll see you same time next week. Until then, good night.